Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back. I am back from my brief hiatus from StarCraft 2 casting on spring break, bringing you guys that I am so excited for. It is going to be SK's MC versus MTW Dimaga versus FXO Strelok versus Dignitas Apollo versus Rotterdam versus Empire Cause versus Slayers MMA versus EG's Puma. And you see the chat is just exploding right now. You can see they are all different colors, which of course can be a 4v4, but this is indeed a free-for-all, ladies and gentlemen. We have a free-for-all between 6 of the best players in the world. It is coming straight from IEM, as well as 2 of the casters, Rotterdam, who's one of the casters, and Dignitas Apollo, who, for those of you who don't know, I believe he is also one of their coaches. He at least puts out a lot of Terran tutorial videos, and they are oh so wonderful. And this game is just going to be insane. I would have the production tab open. I'll actually leave it open for a little bit so you guys can see. But once it gets to the point where I can't see this half of the screen anymore, I am going to be closing it. But for now, we can go ahead and keep that open. So right now, this game, it is just, as I said, was played at the IEM World Championships. Took place this past week. Was airing in where is it? Hanover, Germany, I believe it was. So I tried my best to watch that. Unfortunately, it would air at about 3 in the morning where I live, which is the east coast of the United States. And that was a little hard, so I only got to watch parts of it. I very unfortunately missed this, but I've not been able to find any caster who really casted this as a FFA. Yes, Husky StarCraft did cast it, but he casted it as a 4v4. I'm not totally sure how or why he did that, simply because of the fact that, of course, the players would be attacking each other, but it's very easy to get distracted, of course, in these huge games. But I just wanted to cast it for myself. I thought it would be fun, a good way to get back into my casting. As you guys might have noticed, I've not been casting for quite a while because of the fact, as I just said, I was indeed on spring break. And so I wasn't able to cast. I only had my laptop with me, not my desktop. My laptop is by no means capable of doing casting. It doesn't have a dedicated video card, nothing fancy like that. And in a few minutes, I am going to be closing the production tab. But you can see we have a lot of Terrans here. We've got 5 Terran players, 1 Zerg, who's Dimaga, and 2 Protosses, being MC and... oh, where's the other? MC and... Rotterdam. Rotterdam is a player. And now, okay, so I'll go ahead and introduce the players real quick with a little more depth. For those of you who don't know, as I said, Rotterdam, he is a very good StarCraft 2 player. He's not a professional, but he was a former professional Warcraft 3 player, and he is currently a commentator. He does a lot of commentating for the Go4 SC2 Cup, if any of you have heard of that. And, of course, IEM. Dignitas Apollo, as I said, on the team Dignitas. He primarily does commentary and, again, I believe coaching. Either way, he is also a very good player. Then, of course, we have FXO Strelok, who is a pro gamer. I believe he only recently joined the team FXO. MTW Dimaga, who many people know, he is a Ukrainian Zerg. He's a fan favorite. He's very good, of course, at this tournament. MC, who is, of course, the 2 or 3-time, I'm not 100% sure, 2 or 3-time GSL winning Protoss player. E.G. Puma, a very good Korean Terran player playing for Evil Geniuses, of course. We have Slayers MMA, and he is Slayers MMA. There's not too much more that needs to be said, other than he is Boxer's protege. And Empire Cause, again, very good player from Empire. And so you see a lot of chat going on in Korean, which is unfortunate because, of course, Puma, or Puma, as Apollo might say it, and MC and all of them, they can understand, but the poor Englishmen that are Rotterdam and Apollo are totally left in the dark, and I suppose Dimaga probably is as well. And as you guys see, I did just close the production. I can keep it open. I will leave the production tab open for a little more, just so you guys can see what everyone is doing. And just go ahead and do a quick overview, but it looks like Strelok is going to be going for some very fast siege tanks while grabbing that base. Okay, I'm closing this. While getting that base, it looks like Apollo has a similar idea. His command center and orbital just finishing up. Rotterdam has his expansion on the way, looking to go for some robo play. Koss is going for what looks like a 1-1-1, adding on an orbital command and a barracks right now. He's about to expand. MMA doing a similar build. He just does not have that second barracks at this point. A Raven running into his base, dropping a turret, doing a little bit of harass right here. It's actually probably going to pick the guys off the gas, and MMA has to be kind of annoyed with that. It does pick off 2 before going down. We have Puma going for, again, a kind of 1-1-1 opening, and then with the bunker, or the barracks and a bunker, I believe. Yep, barracks and bunker and command center. And MC is just going to be going for some 3-gate robo play. Now, there was a Banshee in his base. Sorry for missing that, guys. It looks like it's actually done a little damage. It did, got 7 kills, so that's good. If we take a look at the units lost tab really quick, we see not much has been lost by any player so far. We have a lot of Zerglings from Dimaga, and I'm just going to give you guys a little bit of a disclaimer. I will try my best to follow everything going on in this game. We see the Banshee running in. I will try my best to follow everything going on in this game. But there is going to be so much happening, particularly in the late game. It is going to be insane and probably impossible for no less than 3 or 4 casters to keep tabs on everything that is happening. Now, fortunately, there's not been a whole lot of action yet. You can see huge swaths of the inner part of the map have not been scouted out yet. But looks like, wow, we see Rotterdam getting the robotics bay, starting to get Colossi, and getting the Stargate. So we see Rotterdam definitely preparing for the long game. We see Dimaga doing what looks to be similar to almost his 1v1 build. He's getting Zerglings with upgrades as well as another hatchery, just now grabbing his Gatses once he is fully saturated. So we can take a look at the income tab, and we will see everyone is pretty even on exactly what or I shouldn't say everyone is pretty even, but everyone you can definitely see is going for a macro play. We see that MC is actually far behind. I think that's probably because he was just kind of worried about the attacks. We actually see MC is pushing into Puma's base, and he looks like he's going to be able to do a lot of damage. Puma does not really have units. The bunker goes down almost immediately to all of those immortals. They do so much damage with the buildings, and Puma is probably BMing in some form there. Of course, jokingly, the 2 players are friends. But he's very worried. He's not probably going to be able to hold this off. So the reactor does get cancelled at the last second there. Maybe it was automatic. Good force field going down, preventing SCVs, Marines from getting much surface area. Looks like Puma is going to be pulling SCVs. I'm also looking at the mini-map just in case there's something else happening. Looks like, what is going on over here? Oh, interesting. Looks like Strelok sieging up tanks on the low ground there to take shots at Apollo, so he must be very annoyed. Yeah, and we see Apollo down there saying, Strelok, what the freak you, and Dimaga's just laughing, Strelok saying go more. So you can already see all of these players having a lot of fun with this. They are in the middle of a big tournament, a lot of stress, and of course they are still playing to win here, but they can play however they want. They can be total fools, and unless someone completely kills him, oh, is he gonna get the +1? No, he doesn't, and that sucks for Puma. He's saying 1-1-1. MC is just typing random letters right there. And let's see what tech Dimaga is going for, being the only Zerg in the game, and as I suspected, it is an infestation pit. Again, he does like that style in this game. But okay, let's see what will this look like. No, oh, I can't bring up the dang, I can't bring up any special things. It'd be cool to see the workers lost tab. It would just take up this part of the screen. But it looks like Dimaga definitely lost some workers here. I'm not sure what to. It could have been siege tanks. Yeah, we see the siege tanks. It can reach those, so of course that'll do a lot of damage. And Puma just flying his double orbital commands for dear life. This poor mule is going to get absolutely destroyed. Dimaga running in saying kind of what is going on here. He does not see much of anything. But that did show me he is grabbing this base in the center of the map. So taking a look at what is happening with Strelok and Apollo. So it looks like Strelok has finished with the besieging of the bases. He's not going to be able to get any further forward. Apollo has siege tanks already sieged up. But Apollo he did either lose everything was over there, or he was forced to lift it off. And so we see Strelok is going to see that expansion from Rotterdam. So he knows that's on the way. Dimaga's expansion a little bit behind Rotterdam's. Rotterdam earlier is going immediately right out the gate. He's just going straight for Void Ray Colossus, which is of course going to be insane later in the game. MMA lifting up to, I guess, try and save this from something. But he does have to keep it lifted because Strelok is running around his base with Hellions here. And I think what will be with the 4 orbital commands. And I think the interesting thing that will happen with this game is, of course, we know players like MC is one of the best players in the world, but we'll have to see what happens when he's in a game where, of course, these 1v1 strategies don't really apply, and it can be, okay, he'll get attacked by Dimaga and hold the attack, but then what if MMA attacks immediately after that, and then what if Puma or Kos attacks immediately after that? Of course, Puma with the, 6 mules at a time, going very, as Day 9 would say, going ape shit or bear shit with that, doing a lot of damage. And it looks like Kos running in again. He's going to be killing a lot of MMA stuff. And once again, we just kind of seem to have a recurring issue with a lot of, at least the Terran players here. Everyone wants to macro so hard. No one is actually taking much damage. I'm not exactly sure what Strelok wants to do with this right here. Looks like he's just kind of patrolling. He might get that siege tank. I think he is in range. Maybe. No, he's not going to get it. MC saying, Dimaga, don't attack me. Okay, he's very scared, having to force the creep to recede, because we see Dimaga's creep spread very, very good. So does he have infestors out yet? He would, but he is being absolutely destroyed. Strelok going for the two-sided anti-contain, doing a lot of damage to the players on either side of him, just through the sheer siege tanks, and Dimaga's lost a lot of workers. Does he still not have any infestors? He does not started the pathogen gland, so no, it looks like he does not have any infestors yet. Trying to saturate, get this up, get some gas saturation going. Puma being forced once again, unfortunately, to fly his command centers for dear life to try and stay in this game. And that's another cool FFA, 8-person FFA dynamic, is if someone almost kills you and you can then survive, you can land your orbital commands or whatever, and you can get right back in the game. Looks like Apollo is going to see this, and this could be a lot of drone kills right here. Oh my god, there's about 7 or 8 going down there, maybe a 10 going down. Apollo is saying hi, Dimaga. Tried to combine their names right there. And right now, not too much static going on. All the players trying to be very safe. They don't want to just push out with their army and then die. And it looks like Dimaga, he was not going infestors. He was going for an Ultralisk rush along with a bunch of queens, and he has his 3-3 almost done. We are at the 17-minute mark, which doesn't seem too insane. But considering these upgrades by themselves take almost 4 minutes to finish, you have to get the hive and everything. Very interesting that he has that out so fast. And is he going to try and break the siege tank line? Of course, he could try to. The problem being Strelok setting up missile turrets, Thors on the high ground, a siege tank up on the high ground. And that is insane. MC is running in and killing all of his drones. Dimaga saying, Fuki you both. And MC saying Dimaga make ultras. So it's going to be interesting to see what Dimaga is. So far, 2 players have more or less already been eliminated from this game. The Colossi doing a lot of damage with amazing positioning here from MC. The Zerglings running in, but there are a lot of force fields going down. At least even the RV. The sentries are not going to be able to do too much now. The ultras are running in. It looks like MC might simply not have enough firepower to kill this army. He's going to be taking a lot of damage, but MC does already have a fleet beacon, getting out 8 carrier, no, just a void ray. Take a look at the production tab, anything crazy. So it looks like we have High Templar coming out from Rotterdam, very good upgrades coming out from Kos, and other than that, it is more or less not too different than you expect to see. No extremely crazy unit compositions. Puma's going to run out, be like, alright, can I do any damage with these Marines? And he is just going to run and see the Ultralisks and be like, holy crap, forced to run back home immediately. And Strelok taking Dimaga's natural expansion. Talk about BM right there. Puma running over the creep, but Dimaga is probably saying, hey, hopefully he will kill his expansion. Of course, that's not going to happen. All these siege tanks already with the +2 attack upgrades. And all the players down here have stayed fairly stable so far, but talking about it, a big drop coming in from Kos. And because none of these siege tanks are in position, these actually might be able to do a lot of damage. Of course, I want to try and like out infantry micro or out bio micro MMA. MC saying Dimaga, what's he gonna say? The Ultra's still running around. MC just kiting them everywhere with the Colossus. And if he can get off a few hits on those probes, that will be insane. And he does get surrounded by the probes, just tell it to attack. And oh my god, that Ultra is going to get so many kills. 7 probe kills with 1 swipe right there. Puma running into a lot of damage. Rotterdam, Imba, Center, Gold. MC saying Dimaga Minerals. This is so entertaining, ladies and gentlemen. Holy crap, Rotterdam. This is going to be scary. Colossi, Sentry, Void Ray. Of course, the Void Rays are insane, but he is at 198 supply, and there was a mothership that just came on the map, and it was at MC's base. The Ultras are going to be forced to retreat because nothing can actually shoot up. These Queens actually might be able to take out the mothership. They have a lot of energy. Of course, they don't do too much damage. They do 9 damage. Is this armored? It is armored, but they don't do any extra damage versus that. So we will have to see. There's a random orbital floating out in the center of the map. It looks like Apollo is almost mined out, but sorry, he does have a very sizable mech army sitting here outside his base, and we have a big sequence of drops from MMA happening right here, and Koss running back to his base as fast as he can. He is going to get a factory and a starport sniped. MMA trying to get better positioning, but all the medevacs were killed almost immediately by that very high Viking count. And so it looks like this drop from Dimaga is going to be completely killed. Apollo saying 22 minutes, I'm not dead, which I would say if I was in an FFA with Puma, MC, Dimaga, Koss, and some of these other amazing players, MMA, I would be extremely happy if I was alive at the 22-minute mark. Certainly about 14 minutes longer than I would probably survive in a 1v1. If that, they could probably worker rush me and kill me. But I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. Right now, I would definitely actually give the advantage to Rotterdam, simply because it seems, well, let's see, Strelok has a lot as well, actually. Let's take a look at everything. Yes, they're just talking in Korean. I'm sorry I cannot translate that, guys. But Strelok has a very large army as well. A lot of Thors with the +2 attack upgrades pushing out. But really, it looks like Rotterdam has just not been attacked this whole game. He does have a High Templar sitting in that mineral line. In the event that there are mutalisks on the field, we see he has a lot of gateways added on, which will allow him to immediately interforce. We see he's got quite a bank. It looks like Strelok pushing out. I would say attacking Dimaga is natural, but it's his base now. So he's just going to be running up into the main. MC saying, hey, again. MMA making a lot of signals saying don't do it. I'm not sure what. Oh, he's saying don't do it to Dimaga. The Vortex getting a few of them, but he can't actually do any of this. So he was going to go ahead and get in that, but none of the Protoss units were in it. And there's the Overseer sniping the expansion. So MMA, or not MMA, MC not looking to be in great shape. At the same time, MMA is being sieged by Koss. There are a lot of units out here, and MMA doesn't really have anything. He's got a few of these infantry units right here. We look at the supply type. He is down 4140 supply right now. It looks like Koss is going to be taking out MMA, or at least destroying his whole base. Of course, as Puma has demonstrated, you can definitely land and be in okay shape again. He is actually, what is he? He's doing okay in supply. He's definitely in better shape than MC or MMA. Of course, MC does have a mothership, the all-powerful unit in StarCraft 2, so he might be able to do a lot of games, or a lot of damage. MC saying he wants mothership RPG, but it looks like his mothership did go down. Does he have anything left? He's got 9 supply. Not sure exactly where that is. There it is. There's the mothership. I wonder, does he have any other units? What is that extra supply coming from? I'm not sure how much supply a mothership takes. He doesn't have a nexus, so I can't actually see. Let's take a look at Rotterdam. Will it show over here? Motherships are 8 supply, so he has 1 probe. No, he has the Observer. Okay, so he has an Observer and a Mothership. Going to be doing some Mothership harass right here. You could maybe even mass recall the Observer over. So we'll have to see. It looks like MMA is going to be out of this game, guys. Dimaga also being just completely destroyed by Strelok's huge mech army. What are his upgrades at? Right now, they do have the +3 attack. Dimaga is almost mined out at this expansion right here. We can see about 500 minerals left. Dimaga saying, go MC, kill Puma. What did MC say? Come my host. But right now, it kind of looks like Apollo has a very good big mech army, but I would still say if we look at Rotterdam, where is he? This army is just really scary. Granted, something like a storm, even though of course these units very high HP units. Even getting some Dark Templar mixed in there. He's going to be running this out. I'm not sure exactly where. We will have to see. It looks like he's running it towards Puma's base. So Puma is doing it. 3 versus... this is not free-for-all. 3 versus 5. 1 versus 1 versus 1 versus 5. I would be very interesting to see if they had a crazy 4v4 going on where it's just like Koreans versus foreigners. Of course, that might not end well for the foreigners. We have a big engagement going on right here. And Rotterdam's army is making Apollo's army look like it's nothing. Oh my god. Do you see how much damage +3 Colossi do when you have 7 of them? They just rip through everything, and just like that, Apollo is at 54 supply, saying so sick Protoss Imba. It looks like Puma tried to push out to hurt Dimaga. Dimaga just, I guess, destroyed all of his units, sprinting into his base right here. Stupid Dignitas Killer Select, so helpless. And it looks like Dimaga is going to be eliminating Puma from this game, more or less finally, since Puma was one of the first players to really take a lot of damage. So right now we have Rotterdam with this big army, but he lost a lot. Did he lose all of those Colossi? Is that right? I guess he did. He lost all of those Colossi. Sorry, I didn't see exactly how he did, but he is a 163 supply. But he's owed a good number of money, but the problem is almost everywhere on the map is mined out. And Strelok's army is also kind of insane at the moment. And so it looks like right now everyone's just kind of trying to re-macro up Dimaga long distance mining from the base of, who was this? The base of Puma, I guess. Puma doing a mass exodus, I guess you would say, to the center of the map. We see Apollo flying his buildings all the way up into the corner, just trying to stay in the game. Again, there's nowhere left to mine on this map. We see all of these mined out. The high yield has 72 minerals left. Puma flying out. Dimaga is actually not in bad shape either, so we'll look at the supply again. So we have Rotterdam at 173, Strelok at 190, Kos at 140 approximately, and Dimaga at 90. So it looks like Kos has a decent Marine siege tank Viking army here, which of course those Vikings will serve him very well in the event that he runs into carriers or similar. Of course, Marines are also very good against all these air units. But really, and Strelok's army is kind of hard to tell because he has a lot of units right here, but he's got a lot more spread out along the map, I believe. Yeah, we see he's got a bunch of siege tanks and even some ghosts right over there. The Hellions running in saying, holy crap, that is a lot of ultras, and they are just going to get decimated right there. But we do see a whole bunch of orbital commands being built by Strelok. He simply is too much at this point. And so, I don't know. I'm not sure how far we are into the game. No, we are not, okay, I'm not going to speed it up. I do know how long it is. Of course, that hasn't been any kind of spoiler thing. I just don't want the game to go on too long for you guys. I don't want you to get bored. So another big engagement coming out here. A lot of ultras getting a pretty good surround, but there are simply not enough of them. Causes 3 Marines along with a bunch of siege tanks, destroying Dimaga's army. Puma saying, me GG. Dimaga saying, screw Marines with 3-3. I would agree with that. They are quite annoying. And so Dimaga is going to be eliminated by this right now. And he must be angry at Terran just because of what happened earlier. He lost his natural to a slow push from Strelok. Strelok ramping up the Raven and soon to be possibly battlecruiser production. What is he getting here? He's getting the Corvid reactor, which is the plus 25 energy to Ravens when they spawn. And so right now we can see this is turning into one of those kind of weird stalemate games. We're all trying to get positioning, but oh my gosh, Rotterdam, once again, this is insane. We take a look at the carriers. They have +1 attack with the plasma shields at +2, and there are just a lot of units here. I still think this is scary, even for Strelok to deal with. If Rotterdam does not bunch up all his units, if he bunches up all his units, that is not going to be good at all for him. Those Thors will simply tear everything apart. But we have a lot of High Templar from Rotterdam as well. And of course, again, as we saw in that last engagement he had, even though you usually use Storms on Bio Balls and Zerglings, stuff like that, Hydras, Mutas, it does a lot of damage versus Thors. There's 400 health on them. It does 40 damage regardless of armor. And it would hit all of this right here, and that would do a lot of damage. 40 damage per unit over, say, 6 units. That's going to be 240 damage done for 50, and no, it's 75 energy. Oh god, lots and lots of SCV carnage. How much does a storm cost? It is 75 energy, I am correct. 2-second cooldown, so each of them would be able to get off a lot. Dimaga saying, I hate Protoss too. And of course, again, I would definitely echo that sentiment a little bit, especially because Dimaga was the only Zerg player in this game. Kind of rough life for him, just getting pushed around by Strelok and all of the other players. Of course, a lot of people were pushed around by Strelok. Apollo got hurt very early. And really, Rotterdam, just no one attacked him the whole game. He was given that opportunity to max up. See, now he's in a good position. He is going to be trying to take out that planetary without taking too much damage right there. And he should definitely try to take this as actually a very good, what do you call it, vortex right there, sucking in a lot of the siege tanks. So he's going to be running in. He's going to be doing a lot of damage. We see Strelok's fairly slow army trying to make its way over, but looks like they might have very good positioning. Wow, look at how quickly all of those things died. So here comes a big engagement. Some Hunter Seekers going off. I'm not exactly sure on what. Oh, they go off on the Protoss army, hitting a lot of the High Templar right there. He did feed back a lot of the Thors though, and here comes the engagement. A pretty good vortex going off, preventing a lot of units from attacking. And my god, the units, even though they are mech, they die so fast to this kind of composition. Holy crap, I just realized I have the production tab open, but only 3 players are really making anything at all. And there's a lot of units here, but they might not be enough from Rotterdam. It looks like the Voiders are doing a lot of damage, but there are too many Vikings and too many Thors. Rotterdam just did lose his army, saying GG, and he actually left the game. I actually think he's the first one to leave the game. Yeah, he is, because you see, he doesn't have the vision anymore, but even Apollo does, even with his floating buildings up in the corner. Puma does, and Dimaga also leaving the game, realizing it is probably almost over. I will keep this out just so everyone can keep a tab on the supply. We look at the income. We see there's only 2 players mining right now. And it looks like Rotterdam. Yeah, Rotterdam. I forgot he did leave. So now it is between Strelok and Empire Kos. The only thing with Kos, of course, being he has about half the supply of his opponent. He basically has a bunch of Marines and a few Vikings. This is not going to help him too much against this insane ball of mech that Strelok has picked up throughout the game. He just loses a lot of it. But again, look at those upgrades. Look at how quickly those SCVs go down right there. And this is just going to be coming down to the final engagement. So I am just going to, should I speed it up? Yeah, I'll just speed it up 2 times 2 really quick, just because we were just waiting for this last engagement to see kind of who can come out. I am trying my best to keep a tab on the minimap, but again, there's only 4 or 5 players in the game anymore, and it looks like he does know that Strelok is here. And look at that insane number of siege tanks right there. As soon as these Marines run within here, they will have been shot about 6 times. They're honestly probably all gonna die after 2 shots from the siege tank. I don't remember how much damage a siege tank does per shot. Enough to kill a Zergling in 1 shot if you don't have an upgrade. I know that. Kind of annoying. But looks like Kos will be going for it for the final charge. MMA leaving the game, and watch all the Marines explode in large piles of carnage is essentially what it is. It sounds like a band. Piles of carnage. There goes Empire Kos, losing that engagement right there. We see he is currently at 9 supply. Rotterdam still at 29, the second highest. And it looks like, was that it? Yep, replay is complete. So there was that crazy FFA. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I will be bringing you guys some quote-unquote real casts sometime soon. I am starting to get back into it, going back to one cast a day. So like, support, share, anything you want. Let me know what you think in the comments. You can even message me. Again, I don't have that many people looking at my account, so I can definitely respond personally to anything you guys send me. So thank all of you guys for watching, and have a wonderful evening.